messed up real bad. We're not talking about a little fender bender here. We're talking about crushed in front end of a vehicle, side of a car crushed all the way in, halfway in. Three vehicles that I saw messed up real bad. I mean, it was a bad accident, very bad accident, and they're going to be tied up for a while. And I'm sure there's got to be some people seriously injured in that accident. And some things that, we've seen a lot of accidents there at Empire Road, and there's probably three things that I know have probably contributed to it. First of all, the people are pulling out from Empire Community Road, and they're turning left, coming into town. They're looking right in the sun, okay, this time of year. So that kind of can, kind of misdirection. Speed. I can be coming in the mornings, and let's say that I'm going 5 miles an hour over the speed limit, I'm going 60, okay? Which is, let's just say if I'm going 60. I didn't say I was going 60. I said if I do go 60, I still get passed like I'm sitting still, okay? So speed kills, all right, folks? You can talk to any state patrolman or police officer, and a lot of the accidents that happen is because people are going way over the speed limit. And the other thing that probably caused it was it's a little bit of fog out there this morning. And one more thing is, if you're coming into town on Highway 84, and you're going through that Empire Community Road, folks, stay like you're supposed to. The law says stay in the right-hand lane of a 4-lane highway unless you're passing somebody. And when I'm coming in the mornings, I see so many people side by side, and it doesn't allow those folks from Empire Community Road that are turning left to go into town, which most of them do to come into work or school or whatever. They pull out they try to pull out and get into the turning lane, or to what we call the suicide lane, and there's just nowhere for them to get in. I don't know if any of that contributed to it this morning, but that's what a lot of things I see there at that intersection. So speed, the sun, a little bit of fog this morning, and people not staying over the right-hand lane in a 4-lane highway like you're supposed to. So just think about those things, folks, because that is a major, major accident at Empire Community Road at Highway 84 this morning with some vehicles really messed up. I mean, just smashed in like pancakes. And Bob will get a complete report on that on our local news later on exactly what happened out there on tomorrow morning once he gets the official report from the State Patrol. State Patrol has to issue those reports, don't they, Bob?
Yeah, if there's any fatalities, the Georgia State Patrol will take over. If there's non-fatalities to the local.
Then it's the local. Right. Okay. All right, world famous Butch and Bob Show for this Friday morning, a scrimmage football Friday morning. But right now we've got guests in here. I think we have another one in the green room, and we got one in here right now. So, Bob, let's get started with our guest this morning.
We got Clerk of Court Francis Shergan coming in shortly. But first, we've got Reverend Dale Bange in with a special event, a movie night coming up on Saturday. Reverend, always good to see you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for allowing us to be here today.
No problem. Tell us what's taking place.
What we've got going on is we got this kickoff Friday, this blackout day, for Wayne County High School. Excited about that. We decided that to coincide with that football event, we wanted to do a community event on Saturday. And what we're doing is we're going to have a movie. It's called When the Game Stands Tall. This is a family faith-based movie about football. It's about De La Salle High School in California that they had 12 years straight national championships and had 151 straight wins without a loss. Well, then finally, a loss finally caught up with them. They had some sickness with their coach. They had a death on a team, and they had all these obstacles that they need to overcome. And the great thing about sports and football, basketball, baseball, is there's so many barriers that can be broken because of sports. You can break the barrier of religion. You can break the barrier of race, and we can come together for an event like this. So we wanted to promote a community movie night, no strings attached. We're not going to promote religion or anything like that. We're not even promoting our church. We just want families to come out, be a part, come for a great family night movie event. We're going to have free drinks, free popcorn, free chips. All we ask that you bring is a lawn chair and a blanket to be able to go. It's going to be at the Ben Park Complex there on Hitson Mosley, in between Hurricanes and Unity Church of God. We're going to be at the backfield, and we just ask you bring a blanket and a chair. We're going to start around 8 o'clock with the event, or as soon as it's dark enough where the movie can be seen on the outdoor movie screen. But we started something here about 6 months ago in our church called Grace Cares, and we're wanting to pour back into our community with no strings attached, and just tell people that we love them, you know, that we care for them. And you've always heard the adage, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And we just want the community to know that Grace cares, and we want to do this as a family movie night for families to come together and have something positive to do.
What time would the movie begin? No admission, but what time?
No admission. We hope to start at 8. We don't believe it's going to be quite dark enough, but we're going to have some music going on, good family atmosphere, like I said, all those free snacks and drinks. So come out, you can fellowship with people from all over Wayne County. You're going to see somebody that you know. And but we just we're going to start that as soon as it's dark enough. We'll start that movie and get it going.
Where'd you get the screen from? How big's the screen?
If I remember right, I want to say it's like 170 inches. I believe it's mine. I purchased it probably 5 years ago for the reason of doing outdoor movie nights for the church or at summer camp or things like
It's a
that.
screen that you already have, okay.
Yeah, it's an inflatable movie
screen.
Yeah. So it's
So
got
who sits there and blows it up?
well, you know, sometimes I'm sure we got people sometimes that are full of hot eggs. But no,
You
it's
got a little motor there that blows it up.
it's just like your inflatable, you know, slides and bouncy houses. But it's an inflatable movie screen, and then it's got the very reflective screen that you clip in after.
You just clip it on afterwards
right.
and so forth. It's a big old thing. So once again, when, where, how, and all this again.
It's going to be Saturday night. Tomorrow night at the Ben Park Complex. I believe it's going to be at Field 2. I believe that's the field number.
All right, Ben Park Complex out there at Bill Morris Park.
Correct.
Okay, on Messley Road.
Yep. Field 2, it's going to start at 8 o'clock or just as soon as it's dark enough. It will not start before 8. It'll either start at 8 or just shortly after
Okay,
that.
so you're going to have the screen faced west.
It'll be facing the road.
Yeah, so the sun won't hit the screen.
That's
there,
right.
so you can get started.
And we done it on the back fields for the purpose that so when cars come by, it won't interrupt the movie. We're going to be at that back field, so we'll have plenty of parking with that. Thankfully, Carl Rose and the people at Wayne County Recreation Department said they're going to open up the bathrooms and stuff for us, so that'll be available as well. But it'll be just a good family night, good family event.
Okay, sunset is 8:15, so you might have to be just a little later than that.
A little later.
A little later than that. It won't be quite as bad if you have a screen facing east, because with the west on the back side there. But it's according which way you set up. But it'll be around 8 to 8:15. The
Yes.
movie will start. And what's again the name of the movie?
When the Game Stands Tall.
Okay.
Stars Jim Caviezel. Many of you will remember him. He was he played Jesus in The Passion of the Christ.
Oh, okay.
So
All
It's a
right.
great movie, so that's a great story, and a true story too, based on a true story,
yes.
so.
And what's the story about?
it is about a football team that went 150. We had 151 straight wins with 12 straight state championships in California.
Wow.
And then finally, death, sickness, and then a loss of a football game finally brought the community back together for the real reason. And the great thing about this, even after they overcame this, the guy who Jim Caviezel plays, he comes back and actually wins another state championship and retires on top. So
Okay. And it's free. Everything's
absolutely free.
Will concessions be available once again?
Concessions available, chips, drinks, popcorn, no charge.
No
Just
charge.
Bring a chair, bring a blanket, be prepared to have a good time.
So will the stands be able to be used, or people have to sit out on the field?
You could, but you'll probably want to be
Closer
on the
to
grass.
free.
Yeah.
Okay, so bring a blanket, bring a lawn chair, whatever. It is free. It's tomorrow night at the Ben Park Complex at Bill Morris Park. Starting, be there at 8 o'clock, no later than 8 o'clock. Everything's free. The food, the movie, everything's free. And so this is being hosted by
Grace Assembly of God. We started a new outreach called Grace Cares.
Okay. And all that's going on tomorrow night starting at 8 o'clock. And so it'll be a movie. You won't be up there giving a sermon. You're just going to go up there and say,
No
here's
sermons,
the movie.
no sermons, just a good time of family entertainment.
Everyone's invited to come to it.
Yes.
Okay.
Appreciate the gift.
Oh, yeah. And Mr. Butch, we got you. I have a friend of mine, Nathan Scarborough, that's etching these Yeti type cups. So we got you a Yeti Wayne
thank
County
you.
cup. We got Butch a Pittsburgh Steeler cup. So
Bob, I hope you got Bob at Pittsburgh.
Bob, just say thank y'all for allowing us to come on here and promote our event.
All right, thank you so much, and we do appreciate that. And good luck with that tomorrow night. That's a great outreach program. Folks can go see a great inspirational movie, get food free, see the movie free. Get there together in Bill Morris Park tomorrow night. You know, we've got the scrimmage game tonight here in Wayne County. And then people can go watch that great football movie tomorrow night, which has got a great message to it.
Yeah. Good time for football.
Okay. Bob, anything else?
I appreciate you coming by.
All right. Thank y'all so much for having us.
Okay, Bob, who's our next guest coming up?
Got Clark Court, Francis Jurgen's coming in.
Okay, she'll be on in a minute. The best meats and the best prices are always found at your Just a Piggly Wiggly. Save the big this week on these super meat specials. Fresh ground beef, only $1.98 a pound. T-bone steaks, $3.98 a pound. Fresh Boston butt pork roast, $1.48 a pound. Fresh chicken drumsticks or thighs, just 98 cents a pound. And split chicken breasts, sell priced at $1.38 a pound. When it comes to farm fresh produce, Piggly Wiggly is the place to go. Save the big on red or green seedless grapes, only $1.28 a pound. Red ripe strawberries, get 2 one-pound containers for only $5. Iceberg lettuce, 88 cents a head. Vine ripe tomatoes, just $1.39 a pound. Vidalia onions, get 2 3-pound bags for $5. Golden pineapples, $2.99 each, and pink lady apples, sell priced at $1.39 a pound. Low prices, the best service. Piggly Wiggly, 440 West Cherry Street in Jessup. Right, and I agree wholeheartedly that you should have an emblem that when people look at it, say, "Oh, that's the clerk of court's office." That's right. Okay, introduce our guest, Bob.
Clerk of Court, Francis Jurgen. Francis, always good to see you. See you all the time in court. Always nice to see you. Clerk of Court in court, but it's nice to see you. It's been a lot of court lately in Wayne County. We talked about just had another person plead guilty to conspiracy on Wednesday to commit murder. We've had a lot of murder trials, and got more coming in the next few months. It's been busy.
That's right. Absolutely. I took office January 3rd was my first day, and I mean, we haven't stopped. It's just boom, boom.
It's a very busy office, isn't it?
Oh, it's extremely busy. Lots of parts of it that make it run.
Okay, because y'all run so many different sections there at Clerk of Court. It's more than just, being there in court for the cases.
That's right. That's exactly right. I think of it a lot of times like a puzzle. And sometimes a puzzle will fit into the big picture. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's why that works there, to make it all work together. But I do want to say a couple of things. One, Wayne County's such a special place. It's, I do like to say it's the paradise of the world. And you know why it is the paradise of the world is because the people that are here. And just like what I was listening to a few minutes ago about the movie, the community movie on tomorrow night, that's what's special, I spoke a little quickly to Leadership Wayne last night and talked about, that there are common things and there are uncommon things, and Wayne County is a part of the uncommon, that we do things special here. And that's what's so great about being here, raising your family here, and then, for people to come back. You think about all the young people who have left and come back to raise their families here. So anyway, Wayne County has a special place in my heart. And,
you sound just like your sister Vi. She says the same thing.
Does she? I think it's in our genes.
That's right.
Yeah. So anyway, but I'm very, very proud to serve as the Wayne County Clerk of Superior Court and meet and greet the people that come in and out our doors every day. And,
well, you said you started in January, but you had a history with that office with your dad and so forth. So it's not like you just stepped in there cold turkey, but still, there's a lot to learn.
Absolutely. I told Bert the other day, I said, I appreciate.
Bert's her husband.
That's right. I didn't realize how smart Daddy was. And I said, and I want to be that smart, but it's hard to be that smart in 6 months, because he had all those years of experience, but he had his mind, he was full of knowledge, and I sometimes think about how I regret that I didn't pull some of that knowledge like I should have. But sometimes you don't realize you need it until it confronts you,
Right.
you know, so anyway, but
So what you want to talk about?
well, basically, I want to talk about juries today.
Juries,
Yeah,
okay.
you know, I was thinking about what to talk about, and there's so much in the clerk's office, like we've already said, but you can't talk about all of it at one time. But before I do get started, I want to say something. Every Friday in our office, well, every day in our office, we have a meeting with all the staff that come in my office. But on Fridays, we make it special. And one of the things we do is we have Fun Fact Friday.
Fun Fact Friday.
Yes, and I ask a question, a lot of times it's trivia, you know, about Georgia, something about Georgia. And it's really gets to be interesting, and we laugh a lot. So yesterday I told him I was going to be on here today.
Okay.
I said, now, while I'm talking, I'm going to mention something. And when I get back to the office, we'll have our Fun Fact Friday. So you listen, because what they get is they get a $10 gift card to one of the fast food places here in Wayne County.
Okay.
So anyway, I'm going to be talking a lot about juries and different things like that. So I want them to listen so that they'll know what I'm going to ask for Fun Fact Friday.
All right.
But before I do, I want to say that the Office of the Clerk of Superior Court, we do service the Superior Court, the State Court, the Juvenile Court, Drug Court. We're the administrator of the Board of Equalization, and we are a child support receiver. I want to mention and do a shout out to my staff.
All right.
Because they are wonderful. You know, Judge Scarlett, I said something to him one day. I was going to be out of court, and I said, Judge, but I'm going to leave you with, you know, so-and-so. And he said, very capable, said, you know, when you surround yourself with good people, it makes your job a lot easier. And that's what I've done. And I can't say enough about these people whose names I'm fixing to mention. They work hard. We do have a good rapport in that office. Like I say, we laugh a lot, and we share with each other things. So, but I do want to, you know, mention their names and tell you what they do basically. Now, I'm going to tell you about what their primary job is, but everybody in that office works together, and you know, we do cross train, so everybody does a little bit of everything. But the longest person that's been there with us is Fanny Shaw. Everybody knows Fanny, and a lot of people come in just to say hey to Fanny, but she is one of our child support receivers. Stacy Aspinwall is there. She works with juvenile court and state civil court, and she does liens and a lot of other things. Maria Fox, real estate, and she is a child support receiver. Pat Devaney works with Superior Civil and Adoptions. Kelly Spinola, she does our website. And I do want to put a plug in for our website. We have just gone live with our new website, and I encourage everybody to go online and look at it. It's www.waynecounty, county is spelled out, clerkofcourt.com. Lots of information on our website, and I'll mention that again in a few minutes. But she does our website, she does child support recovery, and a lot of other things. She sits up front, so she's one of the first smiling faces that you see when you walk in that office. Katie Walling works with the state criminal, as Judy Goober does. And I do want to say that we have just gone live with paying online for speeding tickets. So if you've got a traffic citation and you want to pay online, you can go to the clerk's office website and pay online. Betty Taylor does Superior Criminal, as does Tina Rozier. Doe Irwin does jury and accounting. And Jimmy Harper is there. He's the only rooster amongst all these hens, and we call him our bailiff. We call each other different names like Doolally and Thelma and Louise. And so, you know, we have nicknames, and they'll grow. But other duties that we do there at the clerk's office is we issue passports, and we do notaries too. DD 214s. Whenever someone gets out of the military, they should bring their DD 214 to file in the office. So we'll have a record of it. We are the custodian of all the records in the county. But I know last week, I think it was, I had 2 people who were looking for DD 214s of people who had passed away. but they hadn't filed in our office. So we didn't have a copy to give to them. But I understand the marker that you get that you can put on the graveside, if you've got your DD 214, the military or the state or whoever, they pay for it. Otherwise, the family has to pay for it. We do protective orders. And I want to talk a little bit about protective orders too. And I feel like I'm doing a lot of talking. You're just doing a lot of looking at me. Okay, all right, that's fine. I don't feel like there's too much interaction, but anyway, but there are a lot of things that people don't understand that I just think we need to educate folks. But protective orders, we do a lot of protective orders in Wayne County. In fact, our judges say in our circuit we do more protective orders than anybody else. A protective order, this is a family violence protective order is what we're referring to. And in order to take one out on someone else, it needs to be someone in the family and there needs to be violence a part of it. A judge will not sign a protective order if they don't find enough evidence in it to issue one. Once a protective order is issued, that person that the protective order is against, that goes against their criminal history. And it is immediate. And if that person is trying to get a job, then these potential employers do criminal, background checks. When it comes up that there is a history of family violence, a lot of times they're not going to get a job. Especially certain occupations and certain schooling, like a nurse. If they go back and they look at the criminal history and somebody's trying to be a nurse or get a job as a nurse, and there is a background of family violence, they're not going to get it. And so sometimes I think we take protective orders out frivolously. Now, that's a fine line, too, I have to say, because nobody knows what goes on behind closed doors but those two people or whoever's involved in it. And you certainly don't want to not protect somebody who needs protection. But I think, too, we have a lot of, they want a protective order, then they don't want it, they want to drop it, then, oh, well, no, I think I'll take it back out. A lot of things like that. So I think everyone needs to understand what the seriousness is of when you take a protective order out on someone else.
And that's the reason why you said the judge says it's really got to be hard evidence there.
Absolutely.
Because words can be said that may or may not be true.
Exactly. That's exactly right. So I do want to bring that up. But I did also, I already mentioned about our new website and that you can pay your traffic fines online. A lot of more information on the website.
Which is?
Jury status, like we've got.
No, what I mean, the website.
Oh, I'm sorry. www.waynecounty, COUNTY, got county spelled out.
Wayne
County Clerk of Court.com.
Okay.
All right.
Wayne County Clerk of Court.com.
Right.
And it's .com, right?
.com.
Okay.
That's correct. Our calendar is on there, so you can see our court calendar and different things that go on. Jury duty updates, what the status of a case may be, whether or not it has been dismissed and we don't need any jurors. You can go to that website and look. And also, talking about jury duty status, on August the 21st, we have jury coming in. So I would encourage people to look on the back of their summons, and there's 2 telephone numbers that you can call. But if you'll call after 5 o'clock on the Friday before the 21st, or the Friday before any Monday that you are summoned to come for jury duty, there will be a message that will tell you what the status of that case is as far as if you need to report or not. Because a lot of times we don't know what's going to happen in a case until the very last minute. In fact, sometimes we don't even know what's going to happen in a case until that Monday morning. But at least you'll get the latest update if you'll call those numbers, one of those numbers, after 5 o'clock on the Friday before you are summoned for jury duty on Monday. Now, like I say, we have a panel of juries, folks coming in on the 21st, and then we have another one on the 28th. We have the most jury trials I mean, there's been several months that we have at least 3 weeks of jury trials during the month.
Okay, you got a couple of more minutes.
Oh, a couple of more minutes.
Look at the stack of papers you got there, woman.
Okay, quickly.
Keep going.
All right, I want to tell you what else we do. We do e-filing now, too, on liens, real estate, civil cases. We got criminal cases.
Take your time. If I have to go past 9, it's no big deal.
Okay, I'll get in the person.
Anything for the clerk of court.
You're so good, thank you. I just want folks to know what we are doing and how we're progressing.
Just take your time.
Because we are doing that, our e-filing. Thank you, Butch. Appeals, we've got 5 appeals that we have sent up just recently on, one's a civil case, one's a state civil case, and then 4 are superior cases. These are people who've already been to trial and they're appealing the case. Used to, we would do it all manually. And I mean, we'd have papers and papers and papers we'd have to put in the mail. Well, now we do it electronically. In fact, the Court of Appeals won't accept it unless it's done electronically, which is good. I do want to say this, because I got to get some stuff in here right now.
Well, go right ahead. You're 25 through 50 pages now. So keep
yeah, I know it. That's right.
I got another appointment. I got to get to this.
He's got another appointment to get to. He's got new stuff he has to do.
Okay, all right.
So keep going. First, you're going to hear Clerk of Court of Wayne County going over some of the services they do provide, and she just wants to be able to educate you. So we'll go as long as we need to go. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. All right. One thing I do want to say, I wanted to address juries today. And I do want to say that in Georgia, there's 49 judicial circuits, and we are named the Brunswick Judicial Circuit. And in our circuit, we have 5 Superior Court judges. We have 1 state court judge per county. We have a juvenile judge per county. There's 5 counties in our circuit, and that's Camden, Appleton, Wayne, Jeff Davis, and Glenn. Our judges are Stephen Scarlett, who is our chief judge, Roger Lane, Stephen Kelly, Anthony Harrison, and Burt Guy. Burt Guy is our new judge. And we also have Judge Ian Wilkes, who is our senior judge. But I want to talk a little bit about jury service and how important jury service is. I know that, when somebody gets that summons, it's a command to come to court. They don't want to come because there's always something else to do. However, I do want to make sure everybody knows that this one is an opportunity for a person to serve their community and to have some kind of input into the government of the community.
So if a person receives a summons for jury summons,
yes,
their boss cannot tell them they can't show up because the boss could.
That's right.
Get in trouble, right?
That's right.
They've got to show up. That's by law.
That's exactly right.
Okay.
Plus, the boss can't hold them accountable for not showing up to work.
Right.
That's the law too.
Okay.
But the jury was established years ago, and it was done so that one person's fate is not depending on a king. Because this was like King John of England that established this, okay? So it's a jury of peers that make that decision whether someone is guilty or innocent. The only thing that you have to be a juror is an open mind, an impartial mind. You don't have any kind of special skills. I've had people say, I can't be a juror. I don't know how to do so. You don't have to do that. You sit and you listen and you have an open mind. There are qualifications to be a juror. I'm not going to go over those because I know we're pushed for time. But I do want to say, too, that every July we get a new jury box from the state. Every April before that July, we submit to the state a list of names of people who have been exempt the prior year, whether they've been exempt because of age or physical problems, different things like that. Because people can be deferred from jury duty or they can be inactivated permanently, but we have to inactivate them every year.
Oh, wow.
So anyway, we send that inactivation list to the state so that they will inactivate these people. Well, when we get it back in July, they're still in the jury box. So what we did, and we're trying to do, is whenever somebody fills out an affidavit to be excused from jury service, we keep those on file, and every July we go through the jury box manually and we inactivate those who are eligible, such as if you're over 70 years old, but you do have to bring in an affidavit. One thing about asking for excusal for jury service is called documentation. If the case that the juror has been summoned to hear is a serious felony, then sometimes the judge will let me do the excusals. Sometimes he says, no, I'm going to do the excusals, because we don't want the defendant, if he's found guilty, or she, to ever come back on appeal and say the jury was not selected correctly. So we have to have documentation as to why you're asking to be excused. And like I say, some people can be excused permanently by law. Some can be deferred until the next term.
Okay.
You understand what I'm
Right,
saying?
I know what you're saying.
Okay, all right. I do want to say this about that jury list that we get from the state
Right.
that people don't know. We have to pay for it. And it is 3 cents per name is what we have to pay.
And how are those folks selected? How do you know who's where, who's living where? Is it through voter registration? Is it through driver's license? What is it through? How do people know?
All right, there's 3 things: driver's license, voter registration, and then they also use the list from the prior year.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
so that's, but it's primarily driver's license and voter registration.
Okay.
So anyway, let's see here. Let me run through this right fast.
Now, you can always come back on again. We can
Thank you
we
so
can always
much.
set you back up again to come back on again real soon, because it can just give you the entire 30 minutes instead of sharing it with
I
someone else,
understand.
okay? Because
One-
you've got so much to talk about that we'd love to have you back on soon.
Thank you. Okay, I'm gonna say one more thing and then I'm gonna be done,
Okay.
okay? All right, when someone gets their summons,
Mm-hmm.
attached to that summons is a questionnaire. That questionnaire needs to be completed and returned to the clerk's office as soon as possible. We do ask for 5 days. Now, sometimes, we understand you have to go a little bit longer. But that questionnaire is very, very important, because what we do is the attorneys for both sides use that questionnaire during what is called the voir dire process. The voir dire process is where the attorneys ask questions of the jurors to determine whether that juror is going to be a good juror or if it's going to be a biased person.
Mm-hmm.
And some of those questions on that questionnaire, the attorney won't have to ask. So it cuts down on the time.
Okay.
Now, those questionnaires are confidential, and they are destroyed after the case, or sometimes the judge may seal them into the case. But they are confidential, but it's most important that people get those in. If they don't get them in, they need to come in early for jury selection day so they can fill one out, because we do have to have one on every person.
Okay.
And if you need to, you can go to the website if you've lost yours, and you can print one up and fill it out. And I think that is, dress code. That's most
Dress code.
important. Yes,
Okay.
I want to talk about dress code. Men should wear a coat and tie.
Coat and tie.
Something they wear, to dress, to church or whatever. Ladies, a dress or pantsuit. We don't want any holy blue jeans and that sort of thing. Blue jeans, a lot of times in this day and time, have dress blue jeans, and you can wear a coat, a sports coat or something with it. But it really is important that our jurors dress appropriately too.
Okay.
So we do ask that. I do want to very quickly say too that anytime we have a jury trial, it's very costly to the county. Not only are we paying all the court personnel, but we pay the jurors $25 a day. And if it's a whole week and we've got 12 jurors, sometimes our bill for our jurors, $2,500.
Well,
And these are things that are the hidden things that a lot of folks don't realize. So we try to cut down some on that cost, but sometimes there's just some things you can't do.
That's right.
But Butch, thank you
Yes.
so much for having me, and I hope I haven't bored everyone.
You have not
this
bored me
morning.
at all. It's interesting to hear all that, and I'm sure our listeners was very interested in that because we're all affected by what you've been talking about. They would love to have you back on again sometime soon so you can go into more of the details they talked about. Francis Yergin here, Clerk of Court of Wayne County, one of our special guests here on the world famous Butch and Bob Show.
Thank you so much, Bob.
Thank you. All
All
And
right.
this is Butch. Bob just
Butch,
left.
I know.
People get it messed up all the
I just
time.
call you B.
Take care.
All right.
All right, the world famous Butch and Bob Show brought to you by Murphy Builder Supply, located on Northeast Broad Street in Jessup, just down from the big red caboose. Also brought to you by Jessup Premium Storage out here on the Waycross Highway, Republic Services, and by Mike Birch Ford in Blackshear. Yes, we're running a little bit behind, but that's okay. No big deal. 105.5 FM in Jessup, and coming up soon, we got state news from the Georgia News Network. Summer.